My number one goal is to first make sure we got good guys in the program, and guys that are doing the right things on and off the field. So I guess my number one priority is to be a mentor both on and off the field. So for me, it's important to make sure we understand expectations. We're holding the guys accountable for those expectations, but we're also making sure the guys know when they reach the expectations that they're doing a good job. And for us, me especially, it's to making sure we have 46 guys on the same page that are doing the same things, that are representing the program well, their families, themselves, and ultimately the lacrosse program in an appropriate manner. And I feel like that's my first step. My first job, on top of doing the lacrosse thing right and make sure we're getting better every day. But for me, that's the most important piece, is make sure we're doing everything on and off the field properly. Something that we started 2 years ago is the hammer, and it's something that we developed as a coaching staff as the core values and the core philosophy of the program is always trying to be a hammer. A hammer is tough. A hammer does the right things. A hammer holds himself accountable. A hammer never quits. All things that we felt that embodied what we wanted to be on a daily basis, but also what our program, basically what we think that should be in the DNA of our program. And so what we've done is, create this culture, create in one word, typifies and really kind of, amplifies or exemplifies what we want our guys to be on a daily basis, and it's the hammer. We talk about hammer being a hammer off the field, being a hammer on the field. We give out daily hammer stickers to reward the guys who are doing the things we want them to do both on and off the field, and we think it's an important part of the program. And when we talk about culture and we talk about protecting the culture, this is what it means to be successful in life, but also as a Division I lacrosse player, is trying to be a hammer every day.
The culture was our number one main focus when we first got here, and it was changing the culture and putting it in the right direction, and making sure each and every day it goes into that direction. It is not something that you just set from day one and just hopefully it stays that way. A culture is something that needs to be tended to every day, like a garden, because there's always things that you can always improve upon. You can always find ways to push guys to make sure that the culture is moving in the right direction. And I always think there's good cultures, there's perfect cultures, and it just doesn't continue to stay that way. You always need to be tending to it and making sure it's headed in the right direction. I thought this preseason so far since we've been here has been the most productive one. From an offensive standpoint, I believe we finally have an identity of what we are and who we're going to be in the spring. We have an identity of what we're going to do offensively from an X's and O's standpoint, and we kind of have an identity of who our personnel is to an extent. And I think that this fall we really hit the ground running because a lot of those details were set. We weren't overhauling anything or putting in a complete new installation of anything. It was more of hit the ground running with where we ended with the momentum we had last spring, this fall. So it was nice to be able to just hit the ground running, get going, and really start to work on some of those more specific things within the offense and smaller skills and getting better at those things so we can take the next step within the offense and what we do, what we do on a Saturday or on a Tuesday night. Now we're working on some more advanced concepts, and I think we've really hit our stride from that standpoint. And there's still a lot of work to do, but we are headed in the right direction, and it was an exciting preseason.